welcome to the Historically Speaking Sports, where we give you the best of sports from back in the day. I'm Dana Augusta, and this is Today in Sports History, where we look back on the moments that shaped the games we love one day at a time. Today is June 24th, and on this day, football's most iconic franchise got its legendary name. A dominant force arrived in the NBA, and a day that also changed Major League Baseball forever. So, without further ado, let's turn the clock back. On June 24th, 1922, George Halas officially changed the name of the Chicago Staleys to the Chicago Bears, a team that had originally been sponsored by the A.E. Staley Starch Company in Decatur, Illinois, but after moving to Chicago and playing at Wrigley Field, home of baseball's Cubs, Halas decided that if baseball players were Cubs, then football players should be Bears. The name stuck, and over the next century, the Bears became one of the NFL's cornerstone franchises, producing legends such as Sid Luckman, Dick Butkus, Walter Payton, Mike Singletary, and Brian Urlacher. Today, the Monsters of the Midway remain one of the most storied teams in pro football. Now, moving forward some 70 years, on June 24th, 1992, the Orlando Magic used the first overall selection in the NBA draft to choose a 7'1" center from LSU named Shaquille O'Neal. It proved to be one of the easiest decisions in draft history. Shaq immediately transformed the expansion Magic to a contender. He averaged 23 points and 14 rebounds a game and earning Rookie of the Year honors. Together with Penny Hardaway, O'Neal led Orlando to the 1995 NBA Finals before leaving for LA, where he would capture 3 championships with the Lakers and later another with Miami. Over a 19-year career, Shaq became one of basketball's most dominant big men, finishing with 4 NBA championships, 3 NBA Finals MVPs, and 1 MVP award, and a place among the greatest centers in NBA history. Some other notable draft selections that occurred on this day that also involved legendary big men. On this date in 1983, the Houston Rockets selected Ralph Sampson of Virginia with the first pick of the NBA draft. And again in 2004, Dwight Howard was chosen first overall by Orlando, again, making Orlando the first franchise to draft 3 future NBA superstar centers with 1 number 1 pick: Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard, and later Paolo Banchero as another cornerstone for the franchise. Now, rounding out our sports history highlights on this day in 1997, Major League Baseball entered a new era as regular season interleague play officially began. Now, for nearly a century, American League and National League teams only met in exhibition games, the All-Star Game, and the World Series. But on June 24th, 1997, fans finally got something they had long wanted: a meaningful regular season matchup between the two leagues. The first games featured the Texas Rangers visiting the San Francisco Giants, while the New York Mets hosted the New York Yankees in a matchup that would become known as the Subway Series. Other regional rivalries included the Chicago Cubs against the Chicago White Sox and the Los Angeles Dodgers against the Anaheim Angels. Now, purists initially worried that Interleague baseball would diminish the uniqueness of the World Series, but fans embraced the new format. Attendance jumped, television ratings improved, and baseball gained fresh rivalries that remain popular to this very day. Now, what began as an experiment on June 24, 1997, changed Major League Baseball forever, bringing the two leagues together and giving fans a matchup they only imagined for generations. And that's a look back on June 24th in sports history. If you enjoyed this trip through the past, be sure to like and subscribe and share the channel. For Charles Combs, I'm Dana Augusta, and remember, sports aren't games, they're history. And we'll see you next time here on Historically Speaking Sports, giving you the best of sports from back in the day.